probably 2018. So 2019 things started to come together. 2020 over COVID. Probably the shop that was most involved was Resto Station Auto. They really cemented helping get the Barra in. And yeah, look, it's been a long process in getting the setup right. So I'll talk you through the ECU now we're running, obviously Heltec. We've got some different boost maps and everything like that in here. So when we're out at the track, like the recent one, I did that 10.38 pass, whatever. It was basically, we've got 5 or 6 boost maps. So one is just gate pressure, and then we've got another 5 boost maps, ramping, boosting, over speed. So the one we used was one of the lower boost maps to get that 10.38. So basically we've got a Heltec keypad button, and that gives us all different boost maps, ranging, and they all go up to about 26 pound. So basically it's good, like you can put your foot down. So it's ramping the boost in over speed. Yeah, we found that to be the most effective. I know there's a whole heap of different things you can do in relation to boost maps. So boost over time and all that sort of thing. So yeah, this is the one that works sort of most effective. Yeah, it's look, it has taken a long time to get it to this level, a good 4 or 5 years. But now, you know, it's pretty settled. We can cruise the streets in it on a low boost setting, and yeah, everything's quite cruisy. So yeah, it's been good. It's been a lot of fun. But yeah, I'll take you through some of those other bits and pieces that we've done with the engine modifications and things like that to get it all to work. Okay, so here it is, the FG XR6 Turbo motor. So I'll just take you through how we got this in there. So look, it didn't start like this. I'll overlay some of the photos. This has definitely evolved over time. It has been rebuilt now by Precision Mechanical. So, but yeah, Resto Station Auto were the ones that actually did the conversion. So what we did, the main thing was we did have to modify the firewall. I have heard of reports that, look, you don't have to. Some have managed to make it work. Look, I don't know how. Basically, we just thought, easy way out, let's just modify the firewall. So yeah, heater unit, if you know a Cortina, that's all taken out. We did make this recess as well in here. Now this is to get access to the starter motor. So without that recess, it was a pain to get to. So we, yeah, that was guys at Resto Station Auto. Trent, he's modified that to make it nice and easy to get to the starter motor. So this here, we've got a power glide. And that's a torque power bell housing that adapts to the XR6 turbo motor. So that's the modifications there. At the front end, look, it was pretty tight, but you can have a look. It just fits. Now, funny thing, this radiator is actually a VK Commodore radiator, believe it or not. It slots in quite nicely into the Cortina, which is really funny. So that's actually a 3-core radiator, 16-inch thermofan, and all running with the Haltech ECU. So, as I said, it has changed shape quite a bit, this conversion. But yeah, Toomey manifold. Going to this Toomey manifold was a cracker idea because it definitely made it. It just completes the engine bay. It just makes it nice. I'll take it underneath as well, but the engine mounts, we just actually fabbed something up to make the standard 250 crossflow mounts work amazingly. But yeah, I'll take you through that. So yeah, setup wise, it's got a G35 1050 121 rear housing. I highly recommend the 121 rear housing. It just gives it more time, like, to breathe up top. Look, obviously Barra, different combinations. Obviously the most common being the G42. I think, you know, either you go the 1250 compact or the 1450. I think a lot of people are starting to go G45 now. So look, this is such a light car. This particular combination works quite well. Yeah, so exhaust manifold, that turbo manifold was done by Yatla Headworks. So it's a guy in there that does manifolds as well. Yeah, he knocked that up for us. But yeah, that's pretty much the engine bay. I mean, not much had to change. Yeah, up here, pretty straightforward. Obviously a few modifications, but yeah, we'll go underneath and I'll take you through that. So here we are under the Barratina. There's the FG XR6 Turbo motor. So one of the main things you need to take into consideration is FG sump for a Barra conversion into a Corti, because as people you'll probably recognise, very similar to the Cortina 250 crossflow sump, where it's got the cutout in the middle, so that goes over the K-frame. One of the other big things that we actually had to do here was modify the K-frame cross member here to bring the steering rack down, so that gives us the bonnet clearance, and also makes sure that the motor and box tail shaft to the Diff is all pretty well on the same angle. So that was a big thing we found out. I'll see if I can get some overlay photos on here just so you can see with that K-frame what we did with it to make it all work. But yeah, that's the main thing. So a little bit of firewall mod, obviously, to rip the heater box out. I have seen people work the heater box still in there, but yeah, we just wanted that extra clearance, get that out. Did the cut out for the starter motor, and under here just that cross member modification to bring the steering rack down and all that sort of thing. Yeah, you can see it is relatively close with the thermofan and the radiator, but hasn't been an issue. Everything works quite well, so there's no real issues there. That there is the engine mount. So you'll see, if you're a Corti guy, you'll know that's very similar to a 250 crossflow mount. Just had to make some modifications on the motor side, pretty much. Yeah, I think we just did a new plate for that engine mount there, and yeah, that all worked out in the end. So yeah. Okay, so this is the glide. It fits in the tunnel reasonably okay. Not too many mods in the tunnel. Yeah, the tunnel itself is relatively okay. And we've got also got a tail shaft loop, obviously for drag racing purposes. Yeah, but all in all, the power glide was relatively easy to get done. Obviously just aftermarket tail shaft when that's all done. So probably surprisingly for some, we stuck with the Borgie. Good mate of mine, Mark Williams, said to stick with that over going 9-inch. Obviously you save weight, a little bit simpler, but the backing plate was the big one, diff girdle. Just make sure you get that. Obviously that just helps that float inside the diff. But inside we've got a True Track 28-inch billet axles from Ultra 9. And yeah, she works quite well. Like, hooks up really well. Just running basic suspension setup, Coney shocks, King springs. We've got a 2-link adjustable sway bar. Now, one thing we did, we actually, that's an R31 rear disc conversion. I'll see if I can overlay some photos, but so yeah, that was one of the good things about staying with the Borgie. We had access to those. They are still floating around. I think the biggest issue is getting the actual brake calipers. So I'd say these days most people just go Willwood or something like that. And we opted for a Barra plug and play ECU. So at the start, I actually was running a factory FG ECU. No end of dramas, trying to get to idle and all that sort of thing. Yeah, just found it really clunky. Then when we switched to the Heltec, solved so many issues. It was it was awesome. So look, I know a lot of people do a 2500. You can do a whole wiring loom now, all that sort of thing. But yeah, as I said, this has been a 4 or 5 year process, and you know, at the time these things come out, we go, yep, let's go with that. And now, as things evolve, obviously you've got more options and things like that, which is good. But yeah, that is the conversion in a nutshell. So yeah, just those talking points. Slight firewall modification. K-frame was modified. Aftermarket radiator. There's also, in the front, we've got a 450 by 300 intercooler. That was the best we can get. I know some people can get like 600 by 300 in there. Yeah, that was sort of the best sort of combo we come up with. And it's actually, this one's got a Garrett core. So there's a guy in Sydney that did fab with Garrett cores. So that was a good pickup. That Garrett core's unreal. The intake temperatures stay pretty reasonable considering the power it makes and everything like that. Yeah, so power glide, trans brake, ball warner re-end with 28 spline, billet axles, True Track center. Look, combo works, does its job. Pretty cool to cruise on the street with. But yeah, obviously, just to give you a little bit of a rundown of what's in the beast and what makes it tick. As I said, it took a long time to get it right, but we finally found the combo that works, and yeah, it's doing the job. So looking forward to getting to more events. It's really cool to be a part of the community, and yeah, it's recognizable now. A lot of people know this is the Growl car, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, looking forward to getting to more meets and keeping at it. But thanks so much for watching. If you've got any questions, sing out. I'm more than happy to help. These things, you know, you shouldn't keep it a secret. Like, hey, if the more people that make this stuff work, the more cool cars that are out there. So I'm more than happy to help. So if you've got any questions, you need any help, just sing out. But yeah, cheers guys. Thanks for watching.